This is a video about how I knew I was having twins before I found out I was having twins. So I am 6 months postpartum. Me and my husband decided to start trying for baby number 2. We thought it might take a while because we have struggled with infertility in the past, but we ended up getting pregnant on the first cycle. I was tracking everything, so I know the exact days I ovulated and all the symptoms I was having. I was tracking from day 1 because if I did end up pregnant, I wanted to track all my symptoms. So I had my positive LH strip on September 29th was my highest peak, and then I believe I had a peak the day before that as well, which was kind of like a little, I was like, oh, did I ovulate twice? I don't know. And I also was cramping on both sides, which with my son, I distinctly remember only cramping on the left side. And then that night I remember cramping on the left and the right side. On October 3rd, I was talking about how tired I was and my skin was breaking out really bad. That's just when I kind of knew I was pregnant at that point. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's twins for sure. But I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I felt more tired than I was when I first got pregnant with my son. And then I have an Oura ring. My Oura ring also told me I had a spike in my body temperature, which pretty much confirmed ovulation for me. I was also having like a crazy stuffy nose, which I know is a random symptom, but I had a really bad stuffy nose my whole pregnancy with my son. So I was like, this is kind of coming out of nowhere. I feel like this is a pregnancy symptom. And on October 4th, I had a wedding. I'm a makeup artist, and I was having crazy cramping on my left side, like the whole time. And that's when I was like, okay, I am pregnant for sure. Like, I'm ovulating. This is the egg meeting the sperm. Like, in my head, I was literally envisioning it because I'm like, this is not normal. I've never had cramping like this. I don't really have any stomach issues or anything like that. I'm like, this is definitely the start of the implantation process. On October 5th, I had dreams again that I was feeding twins, and I was already starting to have like little twinges of lightning crotch, which I was like, there's no way I'm having lightning crotch this early, but it did actually wake me up in the middle of the night. On the next couple days, I had like cramping. I had another dream that it was twins, and then October 8th, it was 8 days past ovulation, and I saw the faintest line. I think it was a first response early result, and then I also did the Frida Mom like early result test, and that was like another little inkling. I'm like, okay, if it's testing positive this early, maybe it is twins. Pretty much all day that day I was super nauseous. I had ate lunch that day. I had a little break at work, and after I ate, I was so sick. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I also felt like I was gonna throw up when I brushed my teeth that morning. October 9th, I was 9 days past ovulation, and I got a positive digital, which I felt like was pretty early for a positive digital. And I also got an extremely strong line on a line test. And at that point, obviously, I knew I was pregnant. I did write on October 13th. I had prayed to God the night before. I was like, God, please just give me a sign if it's twins. I'm driving myself crazy. And that night, I had a dream that it was twins. I had a dream that it was boy-girl twins. We don't know the genders yet, but I thought that was like super crazy that I dreamt that night. But I feel like we psych ourselves out when we're pregnant. I'm like, there's no way. I'm thinking about it. I'm dreaming about it. Like, I'm just dreaming about it because I'm thinking about it. And I was also continuing to get the notifications from my Oura ring, like for my HRV balance, body temperature, and like the minor and major signs. But pretty much since then, my symptoms have just been cramping, lower back pain, and a little bit of nausea. Honestly, my nausea hasn't been that bad so far. I'm 6 weeks and 2 days today. I've been feeling pretty good overall. I would say my main symptom is just tiredness. I'm so tired, which I kind of feel like is normal if you were just having a singleton pregnancy, because I have a 6-month-old and I work full time. But the level of exhaustion is like literally like slapping myself awake, so tired. We had our first ultrasound. We did a private one because I didn't want to wait to go to the doctor on October 28th. And that's when we found out it was twins. There were 2 gestational sacs. We're going back on Tuesday, which I believe is the 3rd or 4th, to get another ultrasound just to make sure everything's looking good. And we're gonna do the early gender testing pretty much just for fun. But yeah, that's pretty much how I knew I was pregnant and pregnant with twins before I found out. Let me know if you guys have any other questions.